Okay, so this is like Coke or something someone threw on my car. In there, his kind can't exist, racist, bigoted behaviors of trying to thug me quiet about the last 40 years of what they've done to my life. And that's what happens when you talk about what these people are doing to my life. Okay, we're checking out this lot today. Remember yesterday, or the last time I was here, there were 3 black cars backwards and everything else forward. Today, everything looks forward, showing that all of a sudden everything went from partially parked cars partially parked backwards to all back to normal in this lot. And so just wanted to kind of get video of the rate of change so that you can understand that these aren't normal behaviors. They're coordinated behaviors. And if they're coordinated, they're being done for a reason, and that reason is me, because everything's personal. For example, everyone I talk to mimics back my conversations from social networks and things, or fragments of it, showing that they're angry at me, and this goes from person to person worldwide, meaning that it's obviously directed at me. If I'm the only one out of the loop, or in the dark, so to speak, then obviously it's directed at me. That's kind of the point I'm trying to make. Now I'm going to an appointment, and I want to get a video of the lot before I go in, and then after. Because usually the longer my car is parked, the more people that show up, and my car will be parked for about an hour. So we'll get the video before and after. Okay, so we're entering the shopping center parking lot of where I am headed. Figures there is this. Well, there is one car with a downtown LA plate, but it's just one of them. These guys, most of these cars, or a large percentage of these cars last week were backwards, and it's gonna be difficult with the lights. Actually, it looks like a lot of them, there's a higher percentage forwards today than last week. There were also people honking. They saw me honking or pushing their alarm button 2 or 3 times. Let's see. Okay, so here we have 2 red pickup trucks together, not backwards. Here we have 2 cars backwards together, and the rest of the local part of the lot is sort of mostly forward. We have another car backwards, but he looks like a random car, and then another one. We have 1 car without plates, new generation, but a lot closer to normal than last week. The amount of cars in pairs of 2s last week were a lot higher, but still, all these things, most of these cars backwards are directed at me. Theoretically, possibly a black and white truck together, but that's very Slammer, the percentage is a lot less. You'll also notice that there's more cars backwards right here than there were, like, right by the door, but really, okay, so here are 2 cars with no plates. I think that's the one we just saw. But how did he, did he know to go by the other car? Possibly. But they're together. That's the point, is this entire lot, I think those are the only car, almost the entire lot, all the cars have plates except for, I think, one other one, and then there's 2 together, right? What are the chances? Right, so obviously he saw that car, or it most likely was even planned. Okay, so this is where I normally go from my appointment. Normally, there's cars here without plates. Here's one over here. Now, what happened last week was the lot was almost normal except for 2 cars backwards, and then as I was leaving my appointment, there were tons of pairs of BMW X5 SUVs together and Audis together as I came out an hour and a half or 2 hours later, showing that people obviously showed up when I was in my appointment and, ramping up their tax, saying his car's parked here. Oh, once again, okay. So here are the 2 cars, just like last week, 2 different cars, backwards. Now you'll notice most of the entire lot is forwards. And you'll also notice that the other lots are all backwards. Also, one of those cars doesn't have a plate. So, and there's a car by the door, the entrance, no plates, so technically you could say 2 cars backwards, 2 cars, no plates. Actually, there is another car this time backwards, so that's a 3rd. But there, as you can see, there's no cars. There's no like SUVs, 2 identical BMW X5s together. There's no another plate, no plate. Right. And we'll see when I leave, there might be pairs of cars and 2s. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm documenting the lot before I go into my appointment, in case when I come out, there are things like cars and 2s or a higher ratio of cars backwards or no plates. So that you can see the proof that when I arrive, things are less aggressive, and the longer I'm here or anywhere else, another no-plater, which now we're getting into the ratio of the amount of cars without plates is a little higher than normal, right? Probably the cars in reds and 2s together, but it's all fairly, it's not too bad. It's fairly mellow, I should say. It's toned down compared to what it normally is, and this lot is actually toned down more than most of the other lots, showing that for some reason they want it less aggressive at this one lot. Now we also have right here a Jeep, no plates. So I don't know what the number of no plates. This is a tiny little area, but was that 5 cars, no plates? That's still a very high number of cars without plates. So anyways, I'll go in now and I guess I'll come out in about an hour and we'll see how many people have showed up. Now this Jeep should probably be noted because a lot of the people, or they use a lot of Jeep Cherokees in their anger towards me. So anyways. Oh, and the Jeep applies to Kelly Hatch, which is a girl they sent after me when I went to Southern Oregon State College. She was told to follow me up from Calabasas High, stalking me with the police, and then turn it around saying I was stalking her. So they use a lot of, and she drove a white Jeep Cherokee back in 1991 or 2, and so that's why they use the Jeep Cherokees, is to hint about Kelly Hatch over and over, to try to sort of guilt me to death until I say, oh, I did this and I did that, to get their coerced false confessions to cover up their crimes, and make it look like I have a problem and I'm a horrible person abusing women and things like this that aren't true. So anyways, I'll start this back up in an hour. Okay, so I'm just documenting the lot because I'm not immediately leaving, but you'll notice that now in the parking lot, all the cars are forwards, and I haven't done a drive-through right after leaving because I'm coming here and I'm about to just enjoy some coffee and eat some food, and so I kind of want to document the progression lot because everything's forward, but now there's a black Altima pulling up backwards here and a black pickup truck just left that was parked at this spot backwards, and that was the only car backwards, was the black pickup truck. So now I'm just documenting the lot before I leave without driving through, showing that everything's forward, except 10 minutes ago the black pickup truck, which I have stills of. There's another black car there without plates, and as I'm eating, I'll document the lot again one more time to see if it goes from forwards to backwards with more plates, or with more cars with no plates and more cars parked backwards, showing the fluctuation of patterns of behavior with what these people are doing. Ooh. So as we can see, this is a Mazda 3, or no, Mazda 6, but they like using these Mazdas to do these things. For example, a lot of times they park the Mazdas, tons of them in front of my house, so that's one of the tactics, is to use those Mazdas to try to make me look crazy or create mental illness or whatever. Here's the lot, and everything is almost all forward. When I got here, 2 cars were backwards right here. They're gone. Once again, there was a black pickup right here backwards. It's gone, and the black Altima at Lee's, pointing to Lee's nails or whatever, is now backwards. So at the moment, there is 1 car with no plates that I see, and a black car backwards, and that is it. Oh, and there's some work truck by North Ranch there backwards, but it's a work truck and he might need to load the back. Okay, so right here appears to be 2 people waiting in cars with lights on together. Together in white cars. Whether it's coincidence, I'm not sure, so I'm just going to kind of let this record and see how long they both wait together like that in my direct view while I'm sitting here eating some food at a coffee shop.
How's everything, sir?
Good. You close at 5, right?
Yeah, just a few minutes here and there.
Okay, I won't hang out long, but thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll notice that girl, when she saw me, she put the hood over her head. One of the tactics. There also seems to be... There also seems to be another vehicle that pulled up with their lights on. Just kind of waiting. Kind of pointing at me, right? Just waiting in their car. Okay, so one of the things you'll notice is that there are the people with the two white cars waiting for me, or across from my car. Which is very important because they're obviously waiting across my car to try to intimidate me as I leave my appointment, right? So you got the people with the lights on, and they're pointed at my car, but also some of the things you might want to notice is these two white pickup trucks in pairs of twos, who have also pulled up, right? And we have a black BMW across from them, right? So we got the black BMW, we got the two white pickups backwards and everything else forward right here in their twos tactic. You got a car with a hammer plates across from mine, where they're sitting waiting, watching me get in my car to try to intimidate me. And then close to my car, which I think was here before, was a Thousand Oaks, a Jeep with a Thousand Oaks plate. You can see the lady in the white Fusion just waiting for me. I think that's a lady. The person next to them also waiting in the car. So there's three of them, three people in cars right here, waiting, watching, trying to intimidate me. And one of those guys has a license plate that says Hammer on it, taking off his license plates. So what are the chances of three people waiting across from your car, two of them lights on, as you're leaving an appointment, and there's actually a fourth white car, but really three people waiting in them, trying to, hey, we're watching you and you better not say anything or we'll kill you tactics. Okay, so I'm leaving, and you'll notice that these people, there were 3 people in white cars, which I got on multiple cameras. But the one thing I want to mention is you'll notice that these people aren't afraid or anything, right? They see me with the camera, they see me videoing, they don't care. Now, why is that? Well, the reason that is happening is because, and they feel no guilt in hunting me down, trying to kill me, is because these are government operations. And so the government and police are saying, we don't like Kevin Perlman, hunt him down and kill him. Although it's obviously not worded like that. To them, it's probably, I've done all these horrible things, I'm on the run, and they need to remove me from society for my past transgressions or horrible things that don't exist other than, like, who knows, stealing a 1-cent Jolly Rancher at 10 years old or something. So here, remember, I'm now videoing a lot. Most of them have have parked forward now, but look, this guy who's waiting in the car has a hammer plate. We had the guy at this cafe here whistling at me that I'm a whistleblower for the crime of not wanting to be hunted and killed by the government for whatever their reasons are. We've had a girl here with the hood on that, or she put her hood on. Here we have another car without a plate, which I got on my other camera. Now we have another car without a plate. So remember when I first documented the lot, I think there is a higher ratio of no platers in the lot, but all the cars, most of the cars are now forward. Of course, I got on the other camera, which I'll just repeat, one of the things you might want to notice is those white cars are together, and that's probably not a coincidence. We have this BMW here backwards, and then of course, I think earlier there were no cars backwards here. There are now 2 white pickups, right, in their patterns of 2s tactics. Oh, and that pickup doesn't have plates. Okay, so I just did a little loop around, and I'm gonna finish documenting that lot, but this lot next to it, you'll notice there's a higher ratio of cars backwards in this lot here, right? So why is that? Why is there the parking lot I'm coming out of are now forwards? Because they know I know what they're doing and they know I don't like it, but how is that communication getting worldwide, right? How are these people being notified if Kevin Perlman is here, do these things? So why would this lot's behavior change and that lot behavior not change if nothing freaky is going on based on mass communication, right? That's the point I'm kind of getting to. So yeah, so we have the guy at the coffee shop whistling at me like, you spoke about us hunting you down and killing you, and that's unacceptable. I just got these cars without the plates. You saw the guys watching me, trying to set me up. The reasoning they're sitting there like that is they want a reaction to set me up with the police. We also have another white pickup, looked like it appeared there, but he's parked forwards. Now, if you go to where I was parked, we have this Thousand Oaks Jeep, no plate car, which I think was there before. Another gray Jeep may or may not be something. I think in this entire section there are 2 cars backwards. This North Ranch car, but that might be fairly normal because, you know, he might have to load the back of the car. That Porsche with no plate was already here. So you can see that when I came, the big highlight, I guess you could say, is the people waiting for me in the cars. So I come out of my appointment, I stop off at the coffee shop, there's a black pickup there backwards, another black Altima shows up, parks backwards, and while I'm sitting, eating some food and sipping some coffee, the 2 white cars parked across from my car waiting for me to come back to my car. Theoretically, you could say there's a black and white pickup here, but that's kind of slim unless they're backwards. Here's a CarMax, no plate car. So the big highlight is I'm supposed to go back to my car. There's people waiting with their lights on pointed at my car, right? One of those guys, there's 3 of them in white cars all together. One guy, another car, no plate. One guy, 2 cars together backwards, as you can see, right? In their pairs. Right? So the reason he's pointing his lights at my car, there's 3 of them, is what they want is I'm supposed to go, I'm leaving my appointment and there's people waiting for me trying to thug and intimidate me, right? Well, what does that do? If you're going to your car or leaving your house every day and we're watching you and you better do what we say, well, what does that do? Well, that's the type of thing that starts fights, right? Hey, you're stalking me, you're following me, if you don't fucking leave me alone, I'll do this, I'll do that. Well, what is it they're trying to do? Well, they're trying to get reactions. They're trying to get death threats, Mike Huntley, okay, so now look, we have 2 cars backwards. I think there were 2 red trucks earlier together. We have both those cars backwards. How many of these people are just waiting in their cars or not, I can't tell you. So they're trying to get reactions, get me to hit them, get me to yell at them, and go, this guy's crazy. I was just sitting here, or came here for whatever reason, and this guy just attacked me. That's what they're trying to do, right? And they've been working on that since 5 years old, right? With worldwide support. So you've now just seen the 2 parking lots. Now, let's go into this. This is a different shopping center, you know, next door. And let's look at what's going on in here. And I'm going to go back to the other side, too, to show you how many cars are backwards. Like right here. Car backwards. Car backwards. This fish and chips I go to sometimes, which means there's probably cars backwards, or no plates, but I don't see any, surprisingly enough. So actually, the rate of cars forward in this lot right here is surprisingly a lot closer to normal than it usually is. But now I'm going to go to the lot on the other side of where my appointment was, and I'm going to show you that there's a lot higher rate of cars backwards, right? Now, I've sort of explained this before, but I'll explain it again. Why am I doing this? Well, human behavior is generally random. It's not based on internet-based notification systems. and therefore people all generally operate like they know, like randomly on their own. People behave differently, they talk differently, they are not like drones being programmed. And so when you see one lot and everything's forward and then all of a sudden it changes to backwards, or for example, the lot is one lot is all forward but its surrounding lots are predominantly backwards, what is creating one lot to be parked different than the other one, if that makes sense, right? What is creating that? Well, it can't happen by itself. Something has to be manipulated in the equation, right? Someone has to be told something, or groups have to be told to do something. So, in other words, these two white pickups here, backwards at the same time, someone had to tell both of them to show up and do that. Now we have this white pickup, but he's forward, but there's three of them. This is where I was a few minutes ago, where I parked, and now there's a Audi backwards. Well, why is there now? And notice that the cars all in this section are all black, right? There's the black Hummer waiting for me, and there's the black Audi. That's the third car since walking out that's been black that parked backwards in this lot. Well, most of them are almost all forwards, except for those two pickups together, two almost identical pickups together, parked backwards, right? Okay, so all these things are happening in patterns based on people conspiring together, right? Can't be any other way. Unless you're saying people get struck by lightning 10 times a week, when I've never even heard of one person being struck by lightning, right? Okay, so now this is the lot on the other side, right, away from my appointment. Now the first thing I noticed is there was a car right there with no plate and a car here with no plate, right? So patterns of twos and no plates. Okay, now let's look over here. We have two cars backwards, and on the other side, two more cars backwards. Okay, what are the chances? Now you have an area where everyone's sort of forward, except there are some cars backwards here, but like I showed before, it's about people told to do things in patterns of twos. So one guy sees one guy doing it, and then he parks his car close to him to copy him, whether it's the same car, whether it's the same color car, whether it's no plates. But why are they doing it? Right? They're not doing it for no reason. Another car without a plate, by the way. They're doing it for a reason, and because I'm the one who they're unleashing their anger on from person to person worldwide, another car with no plate, then it's directed at me. For example, I went in the coffee shop, the guy whistled at me like they do over and over, that I'm a whistleblower, right? Okay, well that exerts anger. We're committing these crimes, we're hunting you down, trying to kill you, we're pinning all these crimes on you, or making up lies that you did all these things, that I've done absolutely nothing wrong. And they're mad at me for finding out that they want me dead, right? Another car with no plates, another van backwards, right? Another black truck backwards here. It's kind of dark over here. Okay, so what have you seen? You've seen that this parking lot here is more aggressive than the one that I go to with appointments. Now, you can come up with all sorts of reasonings. The first reason might be, oh hey, this guy's going to an appointment, so we're all being polite here and parking normally how we're supposed to. But whether that's the case or not, for example, 2 black pickups together there, car backwards here. This is notice this is away from where I was at my appointment, and that's where my appointment was, over here. So what are you noticing? So the point is, let's just say theoretically these people are being polite and saying, because Kevin's going here to an appointment, we're no longer parking cars cryptically right here in this area. Let's just say that for argument's sake. Well, even if that is the case, right? Even if that's the case, then it still shows that there's a mass conspiracy and people doing demented things directed at me. So I'm now leaving, and here once again are the 2 white pickups backwards. And so we'll see if I turn this thing back on. Okay, I'm still in Thousand Oaks, and I'm entering one of these Starbucks parking lots where someone followed me here, threatening my life, telling me I don't talk, and just checking out the lot here, seeing what's going on, getting on video. They harassed me for years here too, like every other location on the planet. The last time is after seeing a therapist, Christina Vescovo, which seemed to be working with them, threatening my life, who's out here in Westlake. We got a backwards pickup, another one, no plates. So they didn't want me talking to the therapist, telling them about my life. Well, why would you tell someone they can't go to a therapist and talk about your life? His threats. He also mentioned that someone should slap me, which at a Starbucks in Woodland Hills, a lady slapped me for handing out some cards because I could explain 2 red cars together, a gray car backwards, a white pickup probably waiting with his lights on. So one of the things he mentioned is someone should slap me. Well, a girl slapped me a month before, then trying to turn her around that I'd hit her and things like that with the Starbucks in Woodland Hills, showing connected events from locations. We also have another car backwards, I don't know, and then a blue pickup backwards. And it's fairly mellow, but there's still some things going on, right? This one's the obvious one, this white backwards pickup with no plates after after leaving my appointment in the other shopping center because they know I'm probably going to go this direction. And now this is just a pickup of someone getting money at an ATM machine. So that one's probably normal. Anyways, so what happened after that was this entire parking lot turned normal except for a gray backwards pickup that was here, and that pickup was the employee of Starbucks who was harassing me, and actually reminded me of Andy Adelman, one of my brother's friends, told to do all this road rage crap and pin it on me with my brother and his friends. So anyways, it's not too aggressive here, but there's still a few things going on. Okay, so I'm still at the same lot. I spent about 10 minutes setting up my video camera to do a diary entry about the psychology community, using people being a danger to themselves as others as leverage to control or dictate people's lives. And I figure I'll do one more lap around the shopping center to see what has happened in the 10 minutes that I was sort of setting up my camera to do a diary entry as I drive home, and see if anything's changed. I think another red car has pulled up where there were 2 red cars right there, and one had left. Looks like one red, one left, and that's it. It doesn't look like there's a super lot of activity here like before, where things were a lot worse, which, like I said before, is a good thing as far as my life and health. It's a bad thing as far as proving it, but I think I got enough information on video to prove these things. Although it'd be nice if other people were getting this on video to prove it, and making it not one guy against an entire planet of people trying to off me. Anyways, so that's that. I'm gonna do a diary entry. Okay, so I'm here at where the Champagne French Bakery is, where I've had problems in the past with endless harassments, mass groups, like everywhere else, but these people got a little more aggressive, having security guards harass me, provoke me, threaten me, you name it, because they didn't want me handing out any cards. That somehow being a problem, that me not like being hunted and killed by worldwide groups, is a problem for them. Anyways, so now this is a much larger lot than before. I'm still in Thousand Oaks. Now look, I want you to see, we have the cars and twos here. Now everything's kind of forward. Now we have 2 more cars and twos, and I'm gonna start behind the lot. So when I first entered this lot, actually most of the cars in the main section were actually forwards, which is rare, but towards the edges and back here, the majority of them are backward, or a large percent are backwards. So what I'm gonna do, like pickups here, 1 forward and 1 backwards, kind of together. There was a guy, he saw me and had no plates on and parked backwards. So I'm gonna go down the back side first, and then you can see if they haven't pulled in 100 cars in the last 15 minutes, which they might have, then you'll see the change, the rate of change from the cars in the back parked more backwards than the ones out in the front. But normally what happens is, for example, which is freaky to say, but if I'm here for 15 minutes, or anywhere for that matter, the entire lot might change from forwards to backwards, or what I mean is, groups of people will start showing up parking backwards after I arrive, showing the rate of change that, oh, Kevin just showed up here, so everyone follow him here in mass groups, making the lot go from almost all normal to a large percent backwards or without plates, right? So I can't tell you if that's going to happen right now or not. I can tell you that a couple people saw me and started parking backwards immediately. So, you know, we're in the back here. Look at the groupings of cars backwards, especially towards the outer edges. There's tons of cars backwards, right? Now, and I'll cruise around here. Right, there's 2 kind of close to each other backwards there. This guy, tons of cars backwards, right? More cars backwards. Okay. Now the point I'm making, like the other lots, is the rate of change in respect to Now I'm gonna go where there's about 10,000 cars, and let's say 90% or even higher are forwards, although, like I said, that can change fairly quick in my life due to the resources being used to try to silence me, torture, and kill me for the information I know. So we're now coming closer to the main shopping area. Now this car right here with no plates, which is a, what is that? An Integra maybe? He saw me, and he started parking backwards. Right here, no plates again. 2 cars backwards together in pairs. So now, when I first arrived at the main shopping area with like 10,000 cars, the majority of them were forward, which is rare and surprising because normally they park them backwards. But the longer I'm here, the more cars will show up. Going, Kevin's here, let's make a mentally ill and kill him for the crime of leaving his house. Or, sorry, the crime of breathing, really. Just like my father would do to his dog Maggie, locking it in cages and thinking the dog's crazy for not wanting to be in a cage, right? Things like this. So right now, okay, we're coming out in the public area, which means, what does that mean? That parking area back there was mostly employment parking, right? So right now, there's a higher rate, minus this 1 car, I think, which is backwards, of people parked normal. But the employee parking is actually backwards, right? And trust me, when this first started at 29, or I first found out this was happening at 29, the majority of harassers were actually employees at businesses harassing me. Okay, so in this corner we have a car backwards. In that corner we have a car backwards. Right now, usually when I come here, all these cars, there's a lot more of them backwards. So most of these cars, surprisingly, are forwards. There's a van over there, he's backwards. A couple of work vans backwards. The main people, the main shoppers right now are all forwards. There's a couple backwards cars here, and ironically, this is a car. I used to have a blue one of these XKR Jaguars, which I loved. This red one is backwards. Trust me, the video footage I have of this lot from a couple months back, like a good 40% of these cars are backwards, a much higher rate, right? And obviously the reasoning, like I explained before, is that the change of behavior is what I'm trying to show, is that people don't, like I said before, people don't flock like birds, right? They're not drones, right? There's no messages being fed to them to all behave a certain way. They act on their own and random, unless there's some kind of line of unethical communication for people to be being told to do these things. So right now, almost all these are forwards, which is actually ironically unheard of in this parking lot, especially with their abuse towards me to try to cover up what they're involved in helping do to my life. And we're just going to drive through all of these just to look for pairs of twos to show you things that are out of the norms, right? Things that are more provable. And there are a good amount of no-platers too. But the majority of the parking lot. That guy's backwards, but still, it's just one so far in this whole row of people, right? Sorry, my focus motor is a little bunk. This focus motor's going. So you can see, and the glass doesn't help, the dirty glass. Almost all of those are forward, and the video I have before is most of a good 40% of these cars are backwards. And some of the things they were doing here before is they were parking identical cars. Well, I guess you've seen that on my other video. They would have like 2 white Jeep Cherokees, 2, cars in 2s like that together. Even though they didn't even plan on me showing up, it was just in case I did show up. Okay, so now notice this row has changed. We got a guy waiting in his car, or she's getting in the car, or leaving it. Lights are on. She's just parked. It's backwards. We have a pickup here, backwards. The rate of change in this one row alone is different than the other ones, right? Okay. And it kind of appears that lady, I've now seen multiple people showing up parking backwards with no plates, right? Right before I started videoing, a guy in front of me, no plates, was showing up, started parking backwards. That lady's getting out of her car, lights on, parked backwards. Now this row is fairly close to the Champagne French Bakery, which they're exerted extreme heavy resources to try to thug, silence, torture me quiet, and going ballistic because I have business cards with a website showing that what's going on and being done to me, which is somehow offensive to my murderers, right? Here's a car without plates. There's a lot more, but I'm not focused on that right now. So, ultimately, this parking lot is still way better than it was. And the point I'm going to make later on is that I'm going to take the older video and I'm going to compare it to today's video, showing you the rate of change, and that something, or better yet, someone based on these internet terror systems. Okay, so this is the French Bakery right there, and we have a car here backwards. We have another car backwards. We have a guy. Look, this guy actually took off his plates. He doesn't have dealer plates. He got in desperation, like the video from yesterday or the day before down in Woodland Hills of all the guys taking off their plates. But all in all, everything. Oh, we got 2 Audis together. Look, one guy's like waiting in the Audi next to the other one. Back to the French Bakery, I think. Where is it? Right there, the French Bakery. And a Lexus backwards next to, oh, I already got these 2 cars together backwards. 2 more cars together backwards. And that's pretty much the lot. Here's a car backwards. And you'll notice there's a progression, I think, closer toward, oh, we got 2 pickups, one backwards across from another one backwards, right? Now the progression, and these are all charging stations, so that's normal. Okay, so that's pretty much the entire lot. Now this movie theater's this is a really cool movie theater, by the way. Cinepolis or whatever. They serve you drinks and reclining chairs, and you can order food. I went to a movie there, and when I came out, security was waiting to harass me. Things like that, right? So, you kind of get the idea of, see, the Champagne Bakery. So that's the lot. Now, while things are way better in this lot than they usually were for like the last 8 years, there's still a lot of the things going on. What do you think if you were to put a percentage on, what is that, 10% of the lot has people directed at me in anger and rage, and obviously anyone I talk to, there's going to be a whole nother level of provoking and harassments to try to set me up with the police to remove me from society. Oh, there's another guy. Wait, another guy has taken off his plates, right? And you can see it's an older car too. Once again, and he's across from this guy with no plates, right? Or with a dealer plate, which he's put on. But this guy over here, just like the other guy, has absolutely no plates. He's unbolted it in desperation, right? Why? Because he knows he knows I'm in this city, and it takes time to go to a dealer and get an old plate cover. So he's just ripped off the plate because he doesn't want, he wants to contribute to hunting down and killing Kevin, which is strange. Okay, here's another guy, no plate, at least on the front. Another car, no plate. Anyways, I'm trying to get out of this lot, but there's just so much to video. Car, no plate. Oh, and he's next to another car, no plate, right? So they're together, at least migrated towards each other, if that makes sense. I guess I'm doing cars without plates now. Okay, car with no plate. Now, did they just get here after? I'm not sure, because I was focused on the backwards. Car with no plate. Car with no plate. What else? Right? Now I was planning to leave. But whatever, we're almost towards the exit, so let's get some cars with no plates. Here we have, oh no, nothing. Just the car backward. Oh wait, we have someone, looks like he's waiting with lights on. Kind of together, kind of like, why is he backwards, just waiting with a girl with lights on. And what? Car coming. Okay, so I think final row, and I can get out of here and get back to my diary entry talking about the psychology community. When I'm gonna compare this to the original, going through here last month, and you will see, oh, car with no plate with a little Christmas thingy. Car with no plate. a couple of cars backwards. Okay, so I can get out of here, but I'm going to compare this to what this looked like a month ago, and you will see an insanely higher rate of cars backwards and probably no plates. And so I'm in Thousand Oaks. This is actually Westlake Village now, same area. That is pretty much it for this shopping center. And I just wanted to go down this last row and see if more people showed up. There's one more guy waiting with lights on. Looks like a red Jeep Cherokee, waiting with his lights on. Right, and so he looks like he probably showed up. He wasn't here 10 minutes ago, and he looks like they showed up because I'm here, and waiting backwards with his lights on, which you've seen in lots of other videos. And you'll notice that nobody in this lot is really waiting for me with lights on, but the longer I'm here, or anywhere else, that's one of the tactics. You'll see more and more people doing it. And so that's it. Okay, so I'm now down. I've now left the Thousand Oaks. I'm down in Reseda and Ventura. I guess that's like Woodland Hills. No, Tarzana area. So I'm down in Tarzana area. And while I've been harassed at every Starbucks or coffee shop worldwide, this one, they got really nasty with me, working with my neighbors, telling me they didn't want me here. I can't remember why, because they attacked me. They attacked me all day and night, and don't want me talking and want to try to make me look crazy, like I've proven a million times over. And what I wanted to do is, okay, so here's the Coffee Bean. We're in a completely different city, and I want to show you that the patterns of twos are obviously, they're not just in Thousand Oaks, right? They are here too. So I want you to see this. Right here, we have a car without plates, and where there was a second one together. Oh, they're a little spread. A car without plates. So two cars without plates. Now, this lot used to have a lot more cars backwards. I think they were big on the Mercedes backwards at the time, maybe 5 years ago. Hundreds of thousands of people coming in and attacking me per day. They were working on the angle of Kevin's crazy and thinks he's in the army. And so they used to have more cars backwards in these two corners here. Right now they're forwards. And this lot used to be a lot worse. Oh, there they are. They're the two cars, no plates together. Right? Okay, now, right, what are the chances? We got a white BMW backwards, and we got a pickup truck backwards, pointed towards each other. And now, I want you to notice this, right here, two more cars together, no plates, right? So remember before, I'm talking about people worldwide doing things in patterns of twos to create mental illness. And so right there you can see that at a complete separate location, what am I, 10 miles away from Thousand Oaks? I don't know. It's being done every single place that I might go to hunt down, torture, and kill, and make me mentally ill. Well, this was a Starbucks, 120 there, working on me with huge mental illness tactics for years as well. Also, I want you to notice something. Car without plates. Another car here without plates. Oh, if I can, there. I'm gonna see if I can get in this parking lot to show you. I don't want to go down the wrong way though. The types of things. So for example, when I used to go to the Starbucks, the entire neighborhood would come out stalking me for simply going to a Starbucks and trying to get some coffee, which I've shown you happens at every location worldwide. I think I hit a dead end, but so I'm gonna have to go a long way around the block. I'll come back, I'll go back, I'll do one more pass on Coffee Bean and then the Starbucks, where both of them were told to stalk me with insane groups. Obviously, I've now proven that every coffee shop I go to worldwide, this happens, and every place I go to, even if they're restaurants. But I'm gonna make another pass so you can see. On the corners here, they have some cars without plates. I think right off the top, I saw 3 cars without plates directed towards me. Remember, they're not systematically. I mean, oh, there's another one. There's a 4th car with no plates. Okay, so let's see. We got a truck here, no plates. Now I'm gonna go. Oh, we have another car, no plates. Okay, now remember, I don't even hang out at this area, but they know that this is an area I've been to. Okay, car with no plates. I think you can see that. Okay, so what is that at this corner? How many? 10? Or maybe 6. I don't know. So I better go slow because there's an awful lot of cars here with no plates, right? But they're probably going to be closer to the restaurant and coffee shop. That Starbucks to that corner, I've had just insane amounts of problems with that one with the entire community. Basically saying, you don't talk or we kill you. And obviously, like everyone else, not knowing any of those people, right? There was a car with no plates there, universal plate. Let's see, I'm probably going kind of fast. And a lot of times, let's say I go into this coffee shop, all these people in this community will all come out of their houses, go into the coffee shop with the matching clothing colors, things like that, to harass me for the crime of simply walking into a coffee shop, which doesn't make any sense because it's not really about coffee shops. It's about a family that just wants to eradicate their child. Who knows? Here's a car without plates. For example, my family's take is kind of like the movie The Carrie, right? You got that controlling, insane, psychotic mother who locks their child in a closet and wants to hide them from the world. Is kind of analogous to my family, and the mother thinks that she's doing good for the child by locking her in a closet, right? Okay, so once again, here's this car without plates. We got these 2 cars together, no plates and patterns of 2s. Probably people will start showing up now. This orange Fiat looks like someone that was stalking me in the past, that I have no clue it's the same person. We have this pickup, these 2 white cars pointing towards each other backwards, which is one of the tactics. And then the more obvious are these two cars here without license plates, right? And so, most of them patterns of 2s, and then the random ones in between that aren't patterns of 2s, they're just the other tactics. Now we kind of have people waiting. If that's for me or not, I'm not sure, because what they do is people are instantly notified. Or let me go around this way first. People are instantly notified wherever I am, and they instantly show up within 10 minutes, stalking me through SMS or email technology using the internet. And so you will see within 10 minutes people showing up with these psychological warfare patterns. Okay, so now this is where the Starbucks that just went out of business was, which they deserve it because they're complete Jew hating. Okay, so here's a car without plates. I couldn't get it on camera. There's the Starbucks is gone at address 120. There's another car without plates, Royal. There is, so far this lot looks normal. And ironically, one of the detectives I was giving information to was Officer Royal, but, you know, who knows. Or Detective Royal at Topanga Division, but he never... Here's a Mercedes, a raised Mercedes. Okay, that's obviously not new because it takes time to jack up and raise a Mercedes like that. No plates. A Prius, no plates. Right? If you just bought a brand new Mercedes like that, you get your plates within a month. Okay, so now there's about, on this corner here, I'll do this again really quickly. That Mercedes in front of the BMW has no plates. The car across from it has no plates. He pulled them off. This car here has no plates. This car here has no plates. There were like 2 or 3, maybe more cars here without plates. Let's see. Right here, no plates. Of course, there's a guy behind me. Doesn't like me driving slow, so we gotta let him pass. Let's let this guy pass. And now I'm going to just turn around if I can. This is a really thin street. I'm gonna pause, stop this, and turn around. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go around this right and see if there's even more. I don't see anything yet. Okay, so did you notice that all those cars... Okay, so those all have plates. So my point is, that I'm about to make is, did you notice that all those cars were grouped together, right? They weren't spread apart. They were grouped together for a reason. Now, what is the reason? Well, the reason is they know that I go to that coffee shop and the Starbucks, which is no longer there, and I'm hoping, which I doubt is the case, that they went out of business on their stalking and murder operations as punishment for trying to have me killed, but I have a feeling that's not the case. So the reason they're doing that, the reason you've seen... Now, I haven't been to that coffee shop in years, and I haven't been to that Starbucks in a long time, maybe, who knows, maybe a year, just from dealing with all the bullshit in my life. Yet, there are still groupings of cars with mental illness tactics in case I show up. Okay, so my point is that even though I'm not at the coffee shop, not that they should be hunting me down and killing me whether I go to the coffee shop or not, my constitution states that I'm allowed to go to coffee shops, and so when the police hunt someone down and try to kill them for going out and living their lives, that's the problem. But my point is that even though I haven't been here to these coffee shops in a long time, there are groupings of cars in case I ever do go, right? And so here we have this car right here, no plates. We have him next to him, no plates. We have this car right here, plates ripped off, not even a dealer plate. We have this car here, no plates. Let's see, no plates and no plates. Now, one of the things they used to do, let's say I go and I sit on the corner there outside or whatever, they had cars without plates lined up this entire street. I think I even see one right there. And a lot of times things like cars in twos. So, you know, two cars together, no plates, or maybe two white Priuses or two gray Mercedes, things like that. And so I'm just going to go around this block because this entire community was told to create mental illness for me simply walking into a Starbucks, right? Why? Well, that doesn't make any sense. Why? But, and remember, it's not just Starbucks, it's every coffee shop, even restaurant worldwide. So it's not about coffee shops specifically, other than how can we kill someone and make up lame excuses. And then, of course, people saying things like, well, if you don't like coffee shops, don't go to them, right? Turning it around, right? Jeez, this is like, okay, come on, car. Okay, so now, there used to be tons of cars lined up. The Persian community at this Starbucks was taking turns on me as well. So it wasn't just black groups, it was also Persian groups. The Starbucks is no longer here. And really, hopefully they were put out of business because of their crimes against me, but, you know, somehow I don't think that that's the case. So this corner ton, I mean, beyond any level of stalking, used to happen right at these. There's a car without plates. Oh, two of them? Yeah, two together. Okay. So, there used to be tons of cars without plates. Here's one, no plates. I'll come back the other way. And there used to be the identical cars in twos and things like that. Pickups parked backwards together, like white. Here's a car, Sunland. No plates. That guy actually turned on his lights. Oh, car, Mustang. No plates, right there. Are these two? It looks like two similar SUVs. Maybe, maybe not. Porsche, no plates. So this used to be a million times worse with the patterns, right? Now, a lot of times, see how that guy's sitting there waiting with lights on? A lot of times people will do that directed at me so they'll know I'm in the local area. They'll all get in their cars, or the people in the surrounding areas will kind of get together and do that. This guy, this red pickup, used to be parked backwards. And so let's just turn around and go the other way and see in these 2 blocks how many cars have I listed with no plates, right? I mean, it's insane, right? Now that is not normal, okay? And you know, they're not doing it to do it for no reason. They're not doing it to create chaos. They're doing it because they want to drive someone crazy, and that someone is me. Okay, so we have our Porsche, no plates. We have our Mustang, no plates, which is hard to see in the dark. We have... Okay, I better look this way to see. I already got those, so let's look this way. The right side isn't as bad. There also used to be identical cars, people waiting for me. I mean, trust me, all day and night, millions of people working on me. Okay, so right here, car with no plates, and oh, he actually has a back plate. He doesn't have plates. Okay. So now things are getting a little more normal, right? Now all these cars out here, oh, he doesn't have a plate. But I think the ratio, the cars out here all have a lot more plates on, like, or normalizing, right? So my point is that the closer I get to where the Starbucks was, there are less plates on the cars. And the further I get from the Starbucks, everything goes back to normal. Everyone has plates. Well, why is that? What is the reasoning? Through common sense. Why all the cars closer to either the restaurants I eat or the coffee shops I go to have more cars with no plates or are backwards. And the further you get away, actually he has no plates too. The further you get away, or the closer you get, the more the craziness, the more the weird, the patterns, they're amped up. Why? Well, because they know I might go there or have been there, and they want to create mental illness. So for example, if I didn't want you leaving your house, put you in that Carrie movie closet, so to speak, I would have people waiting around the places you might go, right? To try to make you mentally ill. And that is exactly the reasoning. Okay, so we're gonna go one more location, and that is the sushi restaurant that my Lorena and my father used to like to go. Oh, there's a car with no plates, and they always would park cars across from the Starbucks with no plates. So like when I sat there, I could see them. Now, Lorena and my father used to like to go to this restaurant, and the reason was to send me hidden messages about things. Kushiyu, it's called. And so, so look at these cars right here. 2 cars together, no plates. 2 cars backwards together. Looks like one's waiting with the lights on, or he might be leaving. And he has a hood on too. So it's some guy with a hood on, right? We have more cars without plates right here. And they always have cars backwards. And another car, no plates. Another car, no plates. Another car backwards, no plates. Another car, no plates. Oh, 2 together, right? Backward. Wait, we got the 2 together here. 2 together. and people waiting backwards. So now we got 2 cars that were parked backwards together. One's leaving. Ooh. Go. Right, one's leaving. Okay, and we got another car here. This is Kushi U. And Lorena would say, hey, oh, 2 cars backwards together, right? So they would want, my father and Lorena would want to take me here, probably something about sushi or suing people, who knows. While they have the entire employment attack me, people come in attacking me, trying to flip me out and get angry reactions, like everywhere else, to try to set me up and make it look like I'm a violent, paranoid schizo, trying to work on he's a danger to himself or others, once again. So 2 cars. I guarantee if you come to this lot every single night, you're going to see the same types of patterns of terror tactics. Now why? Well, because, oh, and this guy parked backwards also doesn't have plates with the other guy, right?
No.
So you get the idea that the reason they're doing it is to try to make me look like a violent, paranoid schizo, to lock me away in jail and mental institutions. Okay, now if we look on the street here, there's also a guy in his car with no plates, with his lights on, and right here, no plates, and that's it. There's an underground lot. I won't go in. Now you kind of notice there's cars waiting on the side with lights on, which weren't waiting before. I'm gonna stop at one more place. As I can't remember, it's an little Italian dive. What is this place called? Whatever. You'll probably see the same types of things. And at this McDonald's is a big one too, with setup operations and people told to wait for me every time I leave my house in the parking lot. Let's see. Okay, so actually it doesn't look too bad. Greco's, that's what it is. And there's a ton of like white cars, all the same, kind of looking together, and 1 car backwards. But oh, he doesn't have plates. But normally there's all sorts of crap going in this lot. And like a lot of times, some of the things would happen is I would come here after going to that Starbucks, go sit down, try to get some pizza, and what would happen was, I'm actually gonna get some food, I'm hungry. And what would happen was, they'd be waiting for me to arrive, or people would follow me from the Starbucks, or even people seeing that I had a camera inside the restaurant, and try to thug and blackmail me and set me up with the police just for having a camera, right? Anyways, you know, like one guy would say, oh, did you take a picture of my woman or something like that? Trying to, if he saw me take a picture of some cars or something like that, trying to create situations to use against me. Anyways, I'm gonna get some food. Ooh. Okay, so you'll notice that when I got here a few minutes after, a white Audi with no plates showed up. You'll also notice that the majority of this lot is also white cars, and right by the cigar shop, people know I like cigars, seem to be very similar looking SUVs, right? Almost the entire lot is almost all white cars, and a white Lyft showed up a few minutes ago with a guy mimicking perfect one of the tactics as he went to pick up some food. Anyways, just wanted to get that on video. So I'm on my way home. Oh, I'm on my way home. Oh, I'm on my way home, and there are 2 cars backwards at the gym with their lights on waiting. And so I just wanted to get some video of that, because last night, I think I already uploaded picture, but I drove by this lot of the gym that I used to go to, and I was explaining how the lot was empty, but how they usually leave cars. And so I just happened to be on my way home, and I noticed two people waiting with their lights on with the cars backwards. And so I just wanted to get some video of the patterns of twos. And at the gym here in Woodland Hills, with both cars with the lights on, waiting for me backwards. And so there you have it, right? Two cars, lights on, patterns of twos, whatever. Okay, now I'm on my way back from going home, and I just wanted to document a few things. The park, let's see, they amped up, compared to yesterday's video, they amped up the amount of cars without plates. I think I might see some people pulling up with waiting with lights on, and let's see, there was a girl walking the park, black pants, gray shirt. And let's see, I drove by the gas station last night where the cops are friends with the Persian people stalking me with worldwide Persian communities. There were 3 police cars there, forwards this time, and 2 random cars backwards, I think. So we'll do a quick drive that way. I think we just had to see, this guy was waiting for me, no plates. He was waiting for me. And then when he saw me, he turned his lights on and took off. And you saw that last night. And this guy is obviously waiting for me with his lights on. He does have plates. Here's the girl in the gray and black, I think. Or this actually looks like a different one. Oh, that's black and white, so that might not. That just might be someone random. Oh, the trucks. Last night you saw they grouped pickups together, so here's 2 more together. And what else do we have? I can't see what those are, but they're very similar white cars, which don't look like, they look intentional. There were more pickups on this side. It looks like they bolted. Let's see. I think they even took the car without the plates left too. So now I'm going to go to this gas station because I wanted to show you how the police are working with these people. Actually, that might have been one of them, so hopefully I can get there fairly fast before they leave. Okay, so now we have another guy, right? See how I drove down here, and the more I'm around here, the more cars appear waiting with lights on, right? So now we have another guy here in a white Mustang, waiting, lights on. We have that guy still waiting there. We have the guy that left, right? So we have this guy waiting for me down there. This guy who's opening the trunk might be normal. We have another gray and black, I think, walking down the street here, which there was a third, a girl walking the park. Car with blinkers might just be some guy trying to get a spot, who knows. You also saw the car here last night the BMW that parks here every night leaves his lights on. So these guys actually look fairly normal. I can't. Oh, but he is by a car without plates. Let's see. He just looks double parked. We got two reds together there. Earlier we had a guy here in a red car that took off his plates, didn't even have a plate cover. Another car without plates. Let's see what's at this gas station. We have one of the cops left. Okay, we have the two cars backwards here, right? And then this cop was parked with another cop forward, socializing with his friend here, who they're all told to stalk me. We have a guy that showed up, no plates. Let's see. There were two more cop cars here. They both left. I think I just said that. We have a second car, no plates, with the two black cars parked together, right? Most of these directed me. The two cars backwards with the three cop cars definitely directed me, and that they're socializing with the Persian community, telling them to hunt and stalk me at every coffee shop worldwide. Okay, and here, I'm driving by, right? What do we have here? We have a business center, right? And at the business center, once again, we have two cars backwards here, pointing to two cars backwards there in like a fours pattern, I guess you'd call it. We have this guys, we have these guys backwards. Unusual amount of backwards cars, but remember this is now worldwide. But it's the patterns. Remember, what you need to focus on is the patterns that make it more obvious. Because if you say, hey, there's cars parked backwards, they say, well, people park backwards. But if you say, which actually, truthfully, most of them don't, but they do now after 2011. But that's the reason why I point out the pairs, is because the pairs aren't normal. That's not normal human behavior. So it's one thing to try to mask what they're doing to my life, but once they start doing it in pairs like that, that you can't explain that, right? That's not normal. Someone, or these government operations are telling them to do these things around me. And so, and usually they're based on something they don't like that I do. Example, the cars started parking backwards in 2011 after I parked once backwards at a Encino Starbucks where psychiatrist Alex Lazar, who I was seeing out there, was trying to keep me silenced, who has also been working on my credit reports, filing things with collection agencies, to try to discredit my financials, for like 10 years now, is showing that he has all sorts of things to hide, and he is Persian. When I mentioned to him that they were saying I'm full with anger and rage, his eyes dropped to the floor in guilt, showing that he didn't want me talking, and that he was angry that I knew what was going on, because he was losing control instead of being an honest, decent person. So I think that's it for this segment, or whatever you want to call this. This showing these tactics around the neighborhood. Okay, well, I was about to end this. There were a few more things as I'm getting home I wanted to point out. The first, I see a black Mercedes where it looks like someone left their lights on. I don't see anyone in the actual car, but he left his lights on. I think the other day I have another black car doing the same thing. I'm not even sure it's the same car or whatever. There's a second Mercedes. So remember, I told you about the cars in twos and the Mercedes in twos. There is a second one as well. Now we have this guy, which looks like he's probably sitting there watching me or waiting for me. Actually, it's a girl. And we have over here, it looks like another person. And oh, there's a third Mercedes now. There's a third black one right there. So now they have 3 black Mercedes. And now we have this guy kind of waiting, which may or may not be something, but because they do them in patterns and pairs, you got a car here waiting with a person in the car. 3 black Mercedes. I didn't look at the numbers, but they're all around the same year. 1 Mercedes who left his light on intentionally, and the other day I have video of another Mercedes doing the same thing. So this guy most likely waiting with this girl, and I think it's a gray Camry right here on my street. Okay. Let's see if she's still here. Okay. Oh no, she's waiting for someone, but they have a hood on. We have our 2 red cars together. Now, most importantly, remember in the last video we had that black retired police car. This guy now put his car in the place with the black retired police car. And remember, that car has a sign on it, you know, car for movie rental. Actually, that might be a different car because the other car had a light bar on it, but let's check. I wasn't really focusing. So we have, let's see. Anyways, I'll probably be turning this on in a second. Okay, so right before I go home, I wanted to do this lot, which I did the other day. I documented it the other day. I think it was yesterday, actually, because I noticed earlier they're starting to sort of ramp some things up, ramp their attacks up, which obviously never end, but they do things in such a way that their patterns fluctuate. Like for example, I get proof of the situation, it slows down, and then people start up again with their attacks, and then they say things like, why are you taking pictures and playing stupid? And the people that say these things obviously know what's going on because it's worldwide, but not only that, they're usually the ones doing the things. Like someone might get out of park their car backwards, leaving their lights on or signaling me. There's a car without a plate. Signaling me in such a way to try to provoke me with their passive-aggressive tactics, and then they'll ask me why I'm taking pictures of the lot. Like, oh, hello, gee, I wonder, right? You have 100,000 to 1 million people per day worldwide trying to torture me to death. Why would I take pictures of the lot? I can't imagine, right? Why would I get proof of these mass crimes to kill me? So right here, we got one person waiting in a Honda with 2 Hondas together, and they both look like Honda Accords. And remember that I showed you that they hang out along this edge with their lights on, sort of directed at me. So they, oh no, it's not, it's just a Honda. Never mind, I thought this Corolla was a Honda. Now we have the car backwards tactic. People waiting cars backwards with lights on. Right there. I think we had a higher ratio of plates. Okay, so now, wait, we have 2 of them together, right? In their pairs of 2s. So, okay, so we have 2 cars backwards together with no plates. Whatever, these ones are spread apart, but they're 2 more probably left overnight. That's probably why they're like that. We also, once again, 2 cars in this corner here, backwards, parked and left. Whether they're in the store or not, who knows? But 2 more cars backwards. We have what appears to be a guy waiting in another car backwards in the lot, right here. Let's see. They like to really ramp up the attacks by the entrance of the Ralphs because they don't want me going to get food, because apparently getting food is a crime. This guy has no plates. Nissan Brothers, whatever. There's usually cars backwards right here too, and a lot of times the same identical cars. Okay. Oof. Right now, this guy just got out of his car, so I can't see if he actually left the lights on. It sounds like the engine's still running, actually. So we have a Mazda here, no plates. You'll notice from today to yesterday, there's a lot less, right? This guy has no plates. We have a copper, and he could be doing something weird. Okay, we got 2 black pickups together. Right? Very strategic. Oh, 3 black pickups. Black pickup, black pickup, black pickup. Okay, 3 black pickups together. Okay, so that's pretty mellow. I mean, we've still got this side of the lot, but the reason I say the cop could be doing something weird is because the cops don't think that what's being done to my life is wrong, right? We got a car here. He's parked. Well, that's not super weird, but whatever. Right, if there's mass groups taking turns on one guy, and the cops aren't, hey, this is wrong, then that's pretty damn weird, right? I mean, whose side are they on? Lady park back, right? And with the paperwork that I have with these illegal neighborhood stalking groups, which they call watch groups, that's freaky, right? Now he's over here, and he's parked backwards, pointed this way, sort of playing stupid or whatever, you know, but he's probably here just to, I can't tell you, right? All I can tell you is he's here, and they don't think that hunting me down and ridding me of the world is wrong. So, that says all you really need to know, right? I mean, hey, there's mass groups hunting this guy down to rid him of the world. We don't see any problem with that. You know, isn't the police's job to protect and serve, not hunt and kill, right? And so, when the police support murder operations, then they're not about law and order. They're about killing people they don't like. That's the entire point. Is that everything the police have done to my life is about killing someone they don't like, not law and order or freedoms or peace, right? Just extermination. Okay, so now what appears to be the people who hang out here with their lights on, although I just see one which might not be anything. And I guess that's it. So when I was getting home, I noticed these sort of ramped up, we're waiting for you, and this and that. There's also another gray and black, I think. No, she's not gray and black, never mind. Okay, so, right, there you have it. Probably a person waiting for me. They used to wait on this street with their lights on, and a lot of times they would have cars. People would leave their lights on in the cars and leave the cars, so in case I drove by, which is one of the tactics in mass groups, if I drove by, I would see the car with the light on in hopes they could like get me to vandalize the car or something, just like you watched me today, clean the coke or whatever it was all over my car, and the other day the spit on my windows. You'll notice that the very people that are trying to set me up over and over all day and night are the aggressors, right? We deface your car, and then we follow you around trying to set me up to try to get me to do something to their cars, which never works, and it just goes on forever, and then they retaliate more by doing more things to my cars or me or whatever, and then they try to set me up more and more, trying to cover up their endless terror operations to rid me of the world, right? But yet I'm just trying to live my life, and I don't know what the hell the problem with these people are, because I don't know any of these people. They're just told to hunt me down with worldwide support. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. I gotta find a parking spot and go in. It's getting late, and chill out. Okay, well, there is one more thing I noticed I wanted to point out, and this guy just get some better pictures of this car who he left his overhead light on, directed at me with the two other black Mercedes. One of the black Mercedes actually left, and now they have Integras or Acuras on both sides of the street. But I wanted to point out, I just noticed and I just mentioned it, and we also have this guy still waiting for me over there. This police car looks different. He doesn't have a light bar. The other movie police car had a light bar, meaning that there's a third car. He does, however, I think it's a different car. He does, however, have the same movie rental sign, right? This is a car for movie rentals. Right, this car is for movie rentals, and let's see. We have a weird Honda following me around. This guy is a pain in the ass. I don't know, his lights aren't on, but I don't know what he's doing. Okay, so oh, and then he just hung a U-turn, so it looks like he followed me and then hung a U-turn. Like, whatever. So that movie, so that car had a light bar on it, so I'm not sure if he took the light bar off, or if he took the light bar off, or it's a completely different car. And also this guy in the yellow, I think it's a 4Runner or X-Tierra, is one of the people heavily involved in these stalking operations, who's sitting in his car waiting with the lights on. Sitting in the car waiting with the lights on, directed at me, which he just got in, and there was an identical yellow X-Tierra maybe 6 months ago or longer at the Ralph's shopping center with a girl doing the same thing, waiting for me. Here he comes, actually. The same thing, waiting for me, and she didn't want me documenting what was going on in the lot, so she got out of her car screaming, why are you taking pictures of me, you're a pervert, you're this, you're that, blah blah blah, working with mass groups to cover up me documenting the lot. Just like I think earlier you had a girl running around saying, why are you taking pictures, as if she doesn't know. Yeah, right. For 15 years, all day and night, in that one parking lot alone, I've been met with mass groups taking turns on me in an angry rage, porn stars following me into the supermarket. If I even talk to one or smile at one, the world will be told that I'm stalking them and won't leave them alone by simply trying to go out and get some food, right? You get the idea. Here's this Honda guy that was just sort of, I don't know what he's doing, but his lights aren't on. You get the idea. So when they do their pairs of twos, this is a completely different guy from the Met. With the identical car that's working on me, like, we're gonna guilt you to death about that person we sent after you, right? Anyways, you get the idea. So he was he parked his car backwards, directed at me, and then he was kind of sitting in it waiting with his lights on backwards, and then I parking and he left. You know, very passive aggressive, right? If we can do this to this guy 100,000 to 1,000,000 times per day, maybe they'll get the reaction they want to lock me away in jail and mental institutions. And this guy, he's just doing laps without his lights on. And I think the reason his lights aren't on was because when I left Thousand Oaks, my lights were off and it was starting to get dark. So they do these mimic things that are literally endless, right? And so now we got a weird guy. He might think I'm leaving, so anyways, he's kind of waiting for the spot or something. I can't tell what he's doing. He's got his blinkers on, whatever. Right, so you get the idea how the communication flows. Like, for example, maybe I leave Thousand Oaks and I forgot to turn on my lights for 30 minutes, and then people in the local area start copying me in a completely different city, like 10, 15, 20 miles away, or even across the entire United States, right? And this information, oh, it's the auxiliary guy. So this is, notice this guy has no plate and it says auxiliary something, who was trying to get the spot. He thought I was leaving. Well, this guy, there's an interesting story. Now, first of all, this guy hasn't had plates for, what, 8 months? Okay, well, that's the first problem, showing that he's involved in something with the police. The second thing is he showed up. He put that plate cover on his car hours after I was searching eBay for an auxiliary cord, right? So if you want to understand what is going on, I go on the internet, I type in auxiliary cord, guy puts on an auxiliary plate cover, and he parks his car in front of the gate where I walk out of my house, right? Then he obviously leaves it on, stalking me with this mass group, right? Why is he doing it? Because in order to try to make it look like I'm a violent, paranoid schizo, he's doing things, they're playing their Brian Longbotham spy games on me. We're watching everything you do, and then we're sending you hidden messages about it to try to gang stalk, gaslight me, flip me out, and get those reactions with the police and government. Now, according to them, I'm a criminal and a monster. What is it I did? I went on eBay and typed auxiliary cord. You're saying that's a monster, and anyone who goes on eBay shopping for auxiliary cords or MP3 players or anything like that needs to be hunted and killed with worldwide support, right? None of it really makes any sense, and that's because it's not really about anything. It's just about hunting down and killing someone since 5 years old with the psychology community, police, judicial system, and every resource known to man to rid me of the world. Anyways, so I will leave it here. I finally get to go in. You get the idea how insane one day, an hour is for me, hour by hour, but really, this is when things are completely toned down, and things were like a million times worse. So anyways, on that note, till next video. Okay, he's still doing laps. Actually, I might be sitting here for a few more to see how many laps he does, just for the hell of it. Here he comes again, and notice he hasn't turned on his lights yet. I better just leave this camera on for now. Okay, he's coming back. He's coming back. I noticed he did lift his engine out of his car and put it in. They had his car up on blocks. This is one of the weirdos. He was all angry that I was telling people what was being done in my life. He was parking the same Hondas like his in pairs of 2s, 3s, whatever, next to my place. And then he got mad because I passed out. I asked him if he wanted a card, and he said no, and he's all bitter and angry, and obviously I didn't do anything to him. He just he didn't want me talking about the things he's involved in. And so, he says something like, you put a sticker on my car, this is about trying to, like all the rest of them, like set me up, frame me, make up lies because they're obsessed, psychopaths. And then in the last couple of weeks or month, he has had his car up on blocks, and they lifted out and put a new engine or something in his car. On the public street, which I couldn't care less about, but most likely, here he comes again, most likely his reasoning, believe it or not, the reason they did that was directed at me, probably hinting about when I was 16, and building cars, right? And so, my guess is that he's trying to obsessively loop me, like they like to try to do, to hint about a 16-year-old building cars when I'm 46, and what does that have to do with the tea in China or matter or anything else? Just as their paranoid schizo tactics, right? He's coming back. He's coming back. Let's just... Did he turn on his lights this time? No? Okay, here he is. He's coming back. Oh, and he's with this guy in the yellow whatever Xterra is now... I'm sure he's parking forward right now, but who knows? When they want to try to provoke me more, he'll park it backwards and wait in it with his lights on. Now, is this guy trying to break in his newly rebuilt engine? I don't think so, because why is he doing little laps around this local tiny little street, right? Why does he go take it for a real drive instead of looking like a complete idiot? But, you know, that's the mentality around here. Most of these people, and I'm not trying to say I'm better than these people or anything, are complete stalking, murdering idiots, right? And they, like, you fart, and, like, their paranoia goes through the roof, how you're a monster, you need to be hunted and killed. And that's strange because that doesn't normally happen, right? And that is by design. Okay, let's see. I'm kind of getting bored with this guy. He's kind of want to go in my house, but at the same time, it's like, why not get one of these people looking like the idiots they are, you know, just on video. Just, you know, they're so big into trying to find dirt on me my entire life, and have people like Rody Morales come in my life trying to set me up and frame me my entire life, you know. So why not just, when they're so big at talking about behavior as if they know what they're talking about, and yet here we got the hypocrites, right? This is a different dude. Did he call it quits? Did he call it quits? Let's see. Is he done?
No SD card. Restarting.
Oh, I think he got bored. I think he's done. Okay, now I can go in. By the way, this is the Met Complex, and you'll notice I'm not parked right in front of my place. I'm parked a little down the street, like, who knows, maybe 100 yards down the street, closer to their place. Now, you would think that that doesn't matter, right? Because who would care, right? Who would care that you didn't park directly in front of your house? And their argument before that is, I'm causing problems because my cars aren't always parked in my garage. And this is even before the signs on my car, Kevin Perlman Target. But either way, what does it matter whether you park here in your garage, a mile away? It's not anything that anyone cares about. Now, where things all fall apart is that if I don't park perfectly, like perfectly in my garage, communities worldwide are notified that Kevin's a public nuisance and causing problems because he didn't park his car in his garage. Now, there are serious questions about that. Like, first of all, how are people getting that intricate personal information instantly, right? Kevin Perlman didn't park his car in his garage. Therefore, communities worldwide are told that Kevin's a public nuisance because he didn't park his car in his garage. Okay, now, that is beyond any level of insane. What kind of computer technology and resources are built around me through NSA and FBI to do something like that, right? And why would you do it? Well, you would do it to torture and kill someone. That's it. Why would anyone care whether someone parks a car in a garage or not? Especially some piece of shit like this, which is now street valued at $3,500, which is still a nice car, but nobody's going to care. So is it about me parking my car in the garage? No. And that goes back to a lot of my conversations about how these psychotics work with these psychological murder operations and the government. Okay, so I think I can actually walk back to my house now. Okay, and I'm going to leave the camera running because he'll probably come back, or people working with him. Okay, so there's this white, like, Durango, which pulled up. Oof. And they parked across from me, and then they turned on their hazards, and now they're going into the garage. Well, why did they do that, right? And I hate to analyze every little thing, but the truth is that people are worldwide are doing these freaky mind games, which they call skull fucking, to me. Okay, so now here's our two red cars together. That guy, I don't know what they're doing. Whatever, I don't care. That guy seemed to want to be across from me for some reason. Although he's doing something weird. We have what appears to be another person just waiting in a blue car. This Keys car used to always park with a gray Keys car together. This guy usually pulls out his truck with tons of other trucks, pickup trucks. You know, is this person sitting here waiting because I'm here, or are they waiting because they're actually waiting for something legit? I can't tell you. Until I see the patterns, right? If you see, oh, it's a gray Lexus, maybe? I can't see. If you see like 4 of those cars appear with people waiting in them, then you know it's directed at me. But if it's just one random guy, it's hard to really know, right? We kind of have the weird Honda youth, but who has been told to stalk me, parked here. Right now the street doesn't look too bad like it normally is. Here's the second Kia. Remember the cars in twos. So that was the red Kia. This is the gray Kia. And this guy always parks with that guy, right? They always park together. Okay, so now we have the black pickup down there. Remember, patterns of twos. And now at the corner here, we have a second black pickup, right? So you just saw 2 Kias spread, and now 2 black pickup trucks spread. So like I mentioned yesterday, why are they now spreading them? Well, they're spreading them to still work on me with the paranoid schizophrenia tactics, but do it in such a way that it looks like it stopped and I'm still going, if that makes sense. So for example, hey, you keep seeing all these things, they ended, but you're still in anger about it. And now our labels of paranoid schizophrenia change to post-traumatic events, right? Okay? But nothing has fully ended. It's toned down, but it's still going on, right? So right here we have our second black pickup truck, and 2 Kias, 2 pickup trucks. I'm not going to tell you whether the kid doing laps is intentional or not, but my guess is it is. We have the other, I'm guessing a third movie police car over here. Remember, the one from yesterday or the day before, he had a light bar. This one does not. Now, did he just take the light bar off? It also said 3 on the back, but this one I think says 3 on the back too. But let's go take a look. No, this one says 1, I think. So, okay, so now there's 3 of these, right? There's 2 black and white movie cars like this, one with a light bar.
And then there's the third one, which is all black. And remember, I told you the guy with the all black one pulled out his car. He pulled out his car right after watching a Denzel Washington movie. Where there was the identical black car the day after or the night after, right? So I watched the movie, they pull out the car, trying to make it look like I conform to movies. Now, if I tell anyone or say anything, it sounds crazy, right? That's the point. Well, that tactic has been done to me all day and night for 40 years with worldwide support. So these are the questions you have to sort of ask yourself, what is going on, right? I mean, why are these people doing this, right? I mean, what allegiance do they have to my family saying, we don't want you to get into Hollywood or get into studio photography with good-looking women, because we don't want our Perlman name associated with yours. And sorry, it's loud and echoey in here. And because they're ashamed of me, they have to sabotage that. But once again, the question of what allegiance do these people have to my family, for my family to say, everyone go after my son because I don't want him getting into studio photography, right? Well, obviously it's not that black and white, and it's not that simple, because women were paid off to befriend me and sabotage my life. But still, normally people catch on to things like that and go, something freaky is going on, and these people that are coming into Kevin's life aren't honest people. And being that the more you tell these people what's going on, the more they threaten your life, shows that they're not really neutral or people that are open to listen to anything. For example, I heard down the grapevine that, Kevin, you're a horrible monster, and I say this isn't true, and I'll explain it. They go, no, you're a snitch, you better not tell anyone or you're dead. Okay, well, that personality, that statement means that no matter how good of a person I am, they're coming after me, and it means that they're not acting based on hearsay or gossip or drama. They're acting on hate rage, and we're working together to put you away, kill you, or whatever, right? Because if the argument is that I was told this, and you're a bad person, and then I say, well, this is the truth, and they say, no, I don't care, then it's not really based on the argument or what they said, right? Unless they're just extremely stupid. But the majority of people would say, well, this is what I told, what's this about, what's going on? And I would explain the truth, and that's how things normally work, but that's not how it's working in this situation. Just a quick overview of my other side of the street. See what's going on here. This guy pulled out his gray GMC because my GMC is parked here. He's been doing that for years, trying to get it as close as possible to my GMC. And I think that's fairly it, minus the Mercedes is actually gone now. I think two of them are gone, maybe even three. So what you're seeing is they're actually being notified. Kevin got home, now move the cars, right? Okay, so they park 3 black Mercedes, one guy leaves the lights on, I park my car a half an hour later or something, those 3 Mercedes, or at least the 2 on the street, are gone, showing that they know when I get home, and they know when to move the cars. So it's fair enough. You could say they're trying to get a reaction and then move the cars if anyone comes and I point out the cars. They could say, I don't know, it's a gray shirt or something. If they could say that, well, Kevin's just a crazy man seeing things that aren't there, right? Their entire reasoning to begin with. Okay, so that's it. So, till next video.